guys, this video is about another character from Canterbury Tales, that is the merchant. First of all, I would like to analyze the presentation in this general prologue, which is really short, it's just 15 lines, and then I will give you a general idea about his tale, a very short summary about his tale. So I'm going to read the extract and translate it for you. If you follow me on Performer Heritage, it's on page 69, okay? So there was a merchant with a forking beard, a motley dress, high on horse he sat, upon his head a Flemish beaver hat, and on his feet daintily buckled boots. He told of his opinion and pursuits in solemn tones. He harped on the increase of his capital. There should be sea police, he thought, upon the Harwich Highland ranges. He was expert at Dublin in exchanges. This estimable merchant so had set his wits to work. No one knew he was in debt. He was so stately in administration, in loans and bargains and negotiation. He was an excellent fellow all the same. To tell the truth, I do not know his name. So, line 1, there was a merchant with a forking beard. C'era questo mercante con una barba biforcuta. That was a fashion at the time. So he's a trendy, fashionable person. And motley dress, high on his horse, he said. Motley dress aveva un abito variopinto e sedeva dritto sul suo cavallo. Upon his head, line 3, a Flemish beaver hat. This is another example of a fashionable item. Indossava un cappello in stile fiammingo con la coda di castoro. Again, another fashionable item. And on his feet, daintily buckled boots. Ai suoi piedi degli stivali borchiati, fabbricati in maniera molto raffinata. Daintily, buckled, borchiati, daintily, costruiti, fabbricati in maniera molto raffinata. He told of his opinions and pursuits, raccontava delle sue idee e delle sue attività in solemn tones, in modo molto solenne, si dava un tono. He harped on the increase, esaltava l'aumento of capital, del suo capitale. There should be sea police, he thought, dovrebbe esserci la polizia costiera, dovrebbero esserci più controlli, diceva, upon the Harwich Highland ranges, nel tratto di mare che va appunto da Highland, da Harwich a Holland. This refers to the fact that in many coastal areas there were pirates. So he said there should be more controls over those areas. He was an expert at dubbing in exchanges, era esperto nel gestire gli scambi. This estimable merchant, line 10, questo stimabile, rispettabile mercante, so had set his wits to work, aveva così impiegato la sua intelligenza nel lavoro. No one knew he was in debt, nessuno però sapeva che lui fosse in debito. He was so stately in administration, era così autorevole, così preparato quando parlava di amministrazione, di gestione degli affari, in loans and bargains, nei prestiti, nelle transazioni, and negotiation, nelle negoziazioni. Lui dava l'impressione, insomma, di saperlo. He was so stately. He was an excellent fellow, all the same. All the same in this case means, well, by the way, despite this, nonostante ciò, nonostante questi difetti, alla fine era una brava persona. To tell the truth, I do not know his name. A dire il vero, appunto, non so il suo nome. Now, apart from the elements I've already anticipated, this man, that he is wearing buckled boots, he grows a forking beard, so he follows the trends of the time. Apart from these facts, we can also see in the merchant the member of an emerging middle class, a middle class that is mainly concerned with money and business as a sign of a good reputation. So To lose your money, to become poor, to be in debt, is considered to be immoral. This is why nobody knows the truth about the merchant. This is why the poet says in line 11, no one knew he was in debt, because he doesn't want anybody to know the truth about his business, okay? But anyway, he's a man who looks wealthy, from his clothes, from his motley dress, questo abito variopinto, I suoi stivali borchiati, from the way he looks, people think he is wealthy, he is rich, and this is the impression he wants to give the other people, but he's actually not. Now, what type of story can a man like this tell? Well, the merchant spoke about the fact that he had been married for 2 months. That was an unfortunate marriage. So the narrator wants him to tell his story, the story of his marriage. But the merchant refuses and says he will be telling another story. But the story he says, the story he tells, probably relates to something personal for him. The story, which is set in Lombardy, has mainly two protagonists, January and May. They are given the names of months because they actually represent two phases of human life. January is a 60-year-old man, and May is a young girl. So they represent winter and springtime. So the final months of the year, the old age and youth, okay? What is the story about? January is a knight, he's 60, he's blind. And after a life as a knight, he finally decides to get married. But he wants a young, beautiful woman. Girl, actually, not a woman. Why does he want a woman after so many years of solitude, let's say? Simply because, as he declares, with no filter, he wants to have legal sex. So he wants to have fun, but he doesn't want to pay prostitutes. So he wants a young woman to have sex with legally. This is the only reason why he gets married. And so he finds this woman, May. She's young, she's attractive, and she probably marries him only for her interest, for his money. But there's a problem. Damien, who is a squire, a soldier, a knight, who works for January, falls in love with May. And Damien is young and attractive, so for May it's quite easy to return his love. Damien writes a letter to her in which he declares his love, and May decides to return his advances. And so they try to find a way to have sexual intercourses without being caught by the husband, by January. But May is quite self-confident. She knows that January is old and blind, so it's really easy to make a fool of him. And so they have sex without actually worrying about anything. One day, they are having sex on a tree, because why not? So they climbed on top of a tree and they were sitting on some branches and having sex. And all of a sudden, January steps into the garden where they were having sex. And the gods decide on that very moment to restore his sight. So all of a sudden, January is not blind anymore. He can see. And what is the first thing he sees? His wife having sex on a tree with a young man. So he asks May what she's doing, and she replies, she's very clever, she replies that she was actually struggling with a man on a tree because she was told that that was the best way to restore her husband's side. So she tries to convince him that she was struggling with this young man simply to do him a favor, to restore his sight. And you know what? January believes her. So he kisses her, he hugs her. Probably he knows that that is not the truth, but he doesn't want to accept. Or maybe he truly believes in what she says, and so they simply they stay together. Okay. What is the message of this story? Marriages are complex, are complicated. Sometimes women get married for interest. Sometimes old men simply want to have fun with young girls. This could be the simplest message. Okay. I hope everything is clear, and thank you for watching.